Hello, parents, teachers, caretakers, and grandparents. I keep saying this. Thank you so much for coming back again and again and watching some of these videos. I know some of you are following it regularly, and some of you are sending me messages and saying how it has been a blessing. I wish there are so many different angles. I'm not covering it because these are very short episodes that I'm doing it, but I'm trying to do quite a lot, in a place. I'm going to share something very, very interesting today. Very, very interesting. Um, Among the mistakes, among all the mistakes that we as parents, as teachers, we do. Uh, One of the research that I read recently, it says that people recover from all kinds of mistakes. All kinds of mistakes. People recover from affairs. People recover even from jail scenarios. People recover from funds mismanagement. People recover from relationships, that has gone wrong. People recover from lots of different things, but there is one thing which is so difficult to recover, and that's what the research says. That one thing that's so difficult to recover, that as adults, as parents, as teachers, as caretakers, that we have to really watch out for. And especially when you are discipling the next generation, this is a very, very important principle. The research says one place where it's so difficult to recover is when people lose their cool in public. Basically, when teachers, when parents shout at their kids in public, put them down in public, that hits their personality, that hits their purpose, that hits their individuality. It hits them so badly. And the research says it becomes so difficult when people lose their cool, basically the temperament, they are very volatile temperament, that they begin to shout out. Recently, I've been dealing with a lot of issues with some of the teenagers. And in all of those cases, there is a volatile person in that house, either a father or a mother, or sometimes it's some grandparents who are there, who are very volatile. For every little thing, they're like a volcano that kind of shoot out. I'm telling you, I was like that. I'm still sometimes like that. I have to really check that out. And one of the things that I've learned in that journey of why am I volatile, because I am first not secure in myself. I'm not secure in who I am. I am not rested in who I am. When I am not rested in who I am, something that the teenager does or something that the young person does, it kind of triggers us, makes us feel very insecure, makes us feel very inferior. They kind of hit us very face. And I believe the research is, true, very, very true. Where the research is very strongly saying, leaders, he even puts leaders there, leaders, teachers, caretakers, parents, one place that they might not be able to recover much. They lose, lose that balance, that bank balance that emotional balance that they have put into their child or the teenager, that deficit, becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. That crack becomes much wider and wider. Why? Because they lose their temperament. I've seen sometimes, teenagers say me this and tell me this and say, uncle, my mother is just so good, so good. But time to time, she just shouts in front of people. She shouts before my family. She shouts before my younger sister or younger brother. Always follow this principle. Please appreciate publicly and correct privately. Appreciate publicly and correct privately. And when you're correcting, when you are restless and when you're very upset about something, at that time, do not say anything. Be quiet. Let certain time just pass by. Let certain time go. Wait for it. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. At that time, don't say it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You can recover from any of those places, but from a place of losing that temperament, losing that cool, and shouting at people, shouting at our children, shouting at our teenagers, shouting at our young people, the crack can become a much bigger crack. Sometimes I know parents would say, hey, I was very tensed about some of the work at home, at the office, and that's why I reacted like that at home. I mean, I know you can say that, but your children don't understand that. They don't understand that. They're basically saying, you don't like me, you hate me. I mean, I don't trust you anymore. You seem to be so good, but you will suddenly shout at me. I can't trust you. The felt safety has been shaken for your children. You want to be very careful about that. Very careful about that. Thank you so much for coming back, parents, teachers, caretakers. Thank you so much for coming back, and grandparents. Thank you so much for coming back. You are very serious with your discipleship journey. Thank you so much for coming back. And always remember, we have this annual conference that we do. So this year on November 11th, it's going to be in Bangalore. On November 25th, it's going to be in Chennai. Just keep waiting for it. You will see some flyers coming up your way. Thank you so much.